Hello friends, this is Diane. I started doing this video once already, but I got a phone call I was waiting for, so I'm going to do this video as quickly as I can before the roofer comes to take a look at my roof, give me an estimate on it. I've got some leaky spots, and he just called. I started doing this video and then he called to tell me he's coming in about 20 minutes. So let's see how quickly I can do this. So I got a bag of fabric. I went to the flea market, and we're supposed to get the leftover storm from Florence today, but it hasn't started yet, so I was glad I was able to go to the flea market. Last week it rained all day. So I got a bag of fabric, and I want to get this in the washer, so I want to at least get this part filmed. So I love this piece, and these are not scrap pieces, most of them. They're pretty good size pieces, so these will be cut up and included in the vintage fabric packs that I'm going to be doing. By the way, I wash them as I bring them home. I've been collecting things throughout the summer, and they're waiting to be ironed. It's just been too hot to iron, but we're going to start having cooler weather now after this storm comes through, I think. So hopefully I can start ironing. So I will be working on these. I know it takes a while to get the fabric bundles around and in the shop, and I know some of you are waiting, but it does take time to do the laundering, the cutting, the bundling, the ironing, all of it. So I will definitely be working on it as soon as I can start ironing. So anyway, most of these will be included in vintage fabric bundles. I love this one with the pink roses on it. This one won't be included in a bundle because this is all there is, and it looks like it's a feed sack fabric. This one, I don't think this is as old as some of the others, but it's very pretty, and it's not a very big piece. This one is a good size piece, and it's a sheer cotton, kind of a sheer with pretty blue. I love it. This one is a drapery. Let me show you the top. It's pleated. I think it was a handmade drapery, yeah. And it's pleated at the top, so I want to cut this pleated part off and use it in a domestic arts journal. And there's not a lot here, I'm sorry. It's not a lot of yardage, it's just a drapery, and it's partly torn, but it's a really pretty fabric. I love it. This one is black with some funky designs on it. It's pretty cool. And this looks pretty old and feels old. It's a cotton, but I don't really know what type of cotton it is. It's got a little bit of texture. If you're familiar with crepe, the texture looks and feels like crepe, although it's not crepe. This I think they used as a table cover because there are two selvage edges, and then the other two edges are hemmed. So I think it was used as a table cover. But it's a pretty fall color. There's a really big piece of this, and it's teddy bears. So that's cute. Teddy bears with hearts. And then there's this piece, which I really like. It's a good size piece. I can tell it's quite a bit there. But I like this. It reminds me of a dress that my mother made for me when I was young, probably about 13 or 14 or 15 maybe even. But it was a black fabric similar to this with these color flowers on it. And it had long sleeves, and it had white cuffs and a Peter Pan collar. And I loved that dress, so that makes me think of that. This again is a small piece, just a piece of this paisley, and I love paisley. It's doubled, so it's twice this size, but it's not very big. I'll probably just keep that and maybe use it in some boho journals, which I'm about to start making this week. Here's definitely feed sack fabric. Just a little tiny piece. This, what is it? Oh, it says dogwood. Has the word dogwood written on it. This is not a very pretty piece. At least I don't think. The colors. But there it is. And here's a pretty solid piece. I'm trying to see if it's Speedsack fabric. I don't think so. It's just a solid piece, but the color is pretty. And this, I like this. It's not much of it here. It's a heavy fabric, but it's got houses and bridges, and it's just pretty. This was being made into a pocket. It's still got pins in it. And then we come to the large pieces that were in the bottom of the bag that I don't want. You ever hear of the Bratz dolls? So these fabrics are Bratz dolls fabric. I don't like the Bratz dolls because, well, their name. They're Bratz. But anyway, this is a very big piece, thick piece of fabric, and then this one is even, it's a big piece of fabric, and it's got squares. You could make a bedspread or pillows out of it. So if anybody wants Bratz fabric, please let me know. I don't want it. I could cut the flowers, fussy cut around the flowers, because it says Bratz behind the flowers too, but if nobody wants this, I can at least cut around the flowers and use them. So that does it for the fabrics. I'll keep going until I run out of time. From the same vendor, I got this little jar of beads. What can I dump them out into? This is handy, so I'll use this pretty dish. It's going to make noise, sorry. So it was $3. There's a marble. It was $3 for the jar of beads, and I thought I could separate them and sell some and use some myself. This one's pretty. Look at that. A lot of them are quite small, but sometimes you need small ones. So I thought $3 was pretty good for all of those beads. While we're on the subject of beads, I also got 2 Ziploc bags full of jewelry that I can take apart. Oh, and some loose beads. They feel pretty old. Look at that pretty blue. Those are really nice. Look at that. I love that. So I can make charms, dangles, and little baggies to sell in my shop. How do you clean this stuff? They feel kind of grimy. Somebody tell me a solution that I can. Look at those. That is great for a boho journal. I guess I can look up on Pinterest if nobody can tell me how to make these feel not so grimy. So I'll have fun sorting through that later. A couple earrings in here too. That's pretty. Oh, these were in there. That's Snoopy. Wow. And this is a bag of earrings. I won't dump them out. This is the bag I wanted the most because it had a lot of pink in it. She did give me a discount for buying both of them. But it still was more than I really wanted to spend. But when you buy beads in the craft stores, you pay a lot more. I paid $25 for both bags. No, $30 for both bags. So there's these pretty pink ones. They're not old. They're kind of like those, remember the satin Christmas ornaments? I hated them because they just came undone, but that's what that reminds me of. These are pretty. Look at those. And this is like a triple strand. That's a triple strand necklace of all of those pink beads. There's some more. These might not be very vintage. Some of them are not. Some of them may be. This one's pretty. Feels very lightweight. They're definitely plastic. So, like I said, those will be fun to cut apart and then sort into bundles. I got a lot of books, but mostly for the pages in the books, because I have plenty of book covers. I did get some for the book covers, but I got some books with really cool pages. I got this roll of wallpaper for $1, and it's paintable wallpaper, which is what I was hoping. I thought I could use it in my journals, of course, and paint on it. I thought it would be really fun, so I wanted to play with that. And when I asked the lady how much she wanted for it, and she said $1, she told me that it's the kind you put on the wall and paint. And then I got these for $0.25. She wanted 10 cents each, but I gave her $0.25. So it's this one is very heavy, sturdy cardboard with burlap and sturdy pages, chipboard pages inside. So I might just leave it the way it is, as far, not take it apart and put it in other stuff, but maybe use it for a glue book and decorate the front. I think that would be fun. And then this one has a cardboard cover. It's got some butterflies on the front, but some really nice paper inside, kind of like a cardstocky white paper inside. So that could be a fun art journal. Not bad for 10 cents or 25 cents for both. At the Blue Van Man, he got there late. He had just gotten there when I got there. There were a lot of empty spaces in the field as I was walking toward the end. I always go all the way to the other end of the field when I get there, because he's near that end of the field, and then I work my way back to my car. But there was a lot of empty space, and after I had shopped for the fabric and the Blue Van Man, then I was walking back toward my car and realized the space had filled up pretty much, so a lot of people came late today. But the Blue Van Man was unloading. He had a lot of people helping him unload boxes and boxes and boxes and boxes of old books. And these books consisted of a lot of old encyclopedias, a lot of old religious books, a lot of interior design books, and pretty old architectural or interior design magazines and things like that. And people were really just going through them. So I did get some. I could have gotten a lot more, especially the vintage magazines. I would have loved to have taken the whole stack, but I'm really trying to limit what else I bring into the house. So anyway, everything that I got from him, including a set of, oh, he's here.